Hi, my name is Charlie Palmer, and I'm a visual artist. I'm also a dreamer, and I am very black. I'm committed to blackity, blackity, black, and everything black. But my work is starting to explore what it means to be black in the world and our major contribution to um, shifting everything, investing in everything. So that's kind of my journey right now, but it's also very much about giving back. Presence when thinking about this particular show is the role, the important role that fathers play in a person growing up's life. Whether he's present or even if he's not, I've acknowledged from the very beginning that I am a product of both of my parents. But I'm also had the pleasure and the gift of having a fantastic stepfather when my father didn't bother. My dad, I walk and talk and smile like him, but my stepfather taught me how to be a man. And he taught me very much from the angle of commitment and protection. And so he inspired us, and I hope to inspire the next generation. So presence is, whether you're there or not, you're going to make a difference. So you probably should be there. And that's what I think even the narrative and the works that I have in the show are about, being there. It's funny because one of the pieces that's in the show is more historical. It is the March on Washington in 1965, 64. And, but I'm also playing with a different style there when it comes to that. But it's just the representation of the black man. If you look at him, you'll see in the images his strength, his power, almost his hero status as I see him. I am he. I want to talk about how that particular piece happened, because I'm finding in a lot of works these days are more spiritual in nature. I was sitting around doing an actual video shoot with some musicians and using my studio as a background. And so I figured I might as well be in the background painting. And I just started randomly painting this face. And as I started painting the face to the conversation, to the music, to all the energy around me, I thought there was something there. But when the shoot was done, I was almost completed with him, and I put him aside for months. And then I came back to revisit him. And as I did, I saw some of me in him, but I saw the strength of a black man in him, and completed painting him. Then a few months later, went back to it again and said, there's something missing. And so when you see that piece and you'll see that strong, flat blue background, that was something that was missing. He blended too much into the background and he was getting lost. So I went back, painted the background blue, and then felt this really speaks to who he is. And he is, I am the original man. Okay, Navigator is another one of those pieces. Navigator is a piece that I created probably originally about a year ago. And I accented with a little bit of color just recently. And it's one of those strange pieces that also has a spiritual statement. It is the burden and the responsibility of being a father, and how your words, your actions are lessons. And so you notice that the little boys are wrapped around his neck like a necklace. And it is the reminder that you can avoid your responsibility, but you're still going to influence that young man. And so carry that burden with pride, carry that responsibility with pride, and know that you're making a difference. We see that all the time in constant examples of young men, athletes who, didn't have a father figure, and how they react. Sometimes it's an adverse effect. Sometimes it really is, I'm going to be a better person than the man that was never a part of my life. And that's kind of with a navigator, because he leads the way. You know what? This exhibit is important to me because I take my role of father very seriously. My friends often tease me because I don't know how many children I have. And I say that I was never raised to be a man that only claimed my blood. Even when it comes to my biological and non-biological children that I claim, The ones I connect with the most are two that are non-blood. And I have to constantly remind myself, they're not my blood, but they're the most like me. But they're also the ones that spent the most time with me. My oldest sons, they spent most of their growing up with their mom and only spent summers with me. And so there's some similarities in their movement, their attitude, their voices. They sound like me. We're all identical in height, but they're less of me, oddly, than the ones that were here and I helped raise. But then there are 5 or 6 or 20 other children that I have adopted as mine that are part of my life. So I think the idea that everybody needs to take time to pause and honor dads, because some of the greatest people I know are ones that, were very much raised by that father who gave them lessons and may have led them in a career that was based on what their dad was doing. So it's just an honor to be a part of this show because of the incredible talent that's also here. And I cannot wait to hear and see what they're doing and what they've done.